Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Um, I was going to do Thursday for Yoga is Healing, and then last minute something came up and I needed to pop it back to Wednesday. So thanks for being flexible as always. Um, Excited to be on here with all of you and practice doing a morning healing class. If you have, we're going to work a lot of things today, I gotta say. Some hips, maybe some twists. Um, so, if you have a blanket, that would be really helpful, and a bolster would also, I'm sorry, not a bolster. Although, that brings me to a question. How many of you out there in the land of taking in Yoga is Healing actually do have a bolster at home? So, if you have a bolster at home, will you comment below? I just kind of want to see because I've wanted to use it a little bit, but I've not because I feel like a lot of people don't have that as a prop. So let's have a block and a blanket. Okay, block and blanket. Make sure our sound is on, all the things. Yeah, okay. Hopefully we're good. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Okay, let's turn around here. Who's ready to get started? All right. Those of you on, if you can hear me, let me know. Give me a thumbs up or a heart or a something, something. So you can see my blanket and my block there sitting on my mat. So those would be the two helpful props if you have them. Everybody hear me okay? All right, so come to a nice, easy seat. Today we're going to work on building our internal, my book, our internal kind of light, our internal light and our internal resilience. And obviously with just all the things going on, and I think, I don't know about all of you, but for myself, just with school feels like it's kind of around the corner because here in Nebraska we started not really at the end of summer, we started on August like 13th, and so just feeling a little bit anxious about that too, and so building up this muscle of our internal resilience. And you know, as I prepare for these classes, I think about what it is that would be good for kind of more of the contemplative component of these practices. And this morning, and sometimes it's right there for me, and other times I have to kind of look for it a little bit. But today, my mom, love you, Mom. This morning, my mom sent me a poem that I had shared in 2013, and I've shared it many times since then as well because it is one of my favorites. It's by the poet Hafez, and he says, "I wish I could show you when you are lonely or in darkness the astonishing light of your own being." That's it. It's so simple. I wish I could show you when you are lonely or in darkness the astonishing light of your own being. And for people, whether they live alone or just with this whole isolation that we've all been going with and through, it's a lonely time. And in one of the books I was reading recently, and I read so many, I couldn't tell you which one I came across because I'd love to give credit where credit is due, but it really talked about loneliness being one of the hardest emotions to work with because it's so isolating and it can be hard to come out and through. And so it was also saying that these practices really can help bring more clarity, more internal resilience. And one of the teachings and the studies of yoga that I did in Anusara, one of the kind of components of it was that your inner body, like within you, your inner body is bright. It's this radiant light, and trying to get the outer body to soften onto that great light. So they used to say inner body bright, outer body softens onto that great light. And so remembering that all of our radiance, all the answers, all the everything is coming from within us. And so today that's what we're going to kind of build up. So you'll hear me talk, as I always do, deeply about the breath, but kind of almost even feeling our poses through your inner body, okay? Let's find an easy seat. So I'm up on a blanket. You can get any props you need. Make sure our recording is going okay. So sit up nice and tall. sitting down on the ground is not comfortable on your knees, you can always lay down as we start. You also could grab a chair. Okay, you could sit up in a chair for this intro, and that's just fine. Have your mat next to you. So as you close the eyes and you start to connect a little bit more deeply into your own breath cycle, as you fill up on your inhale and your inner body expands, almost imagining a quality or an essence of light. And that as you inhale, although you may not physically be able to see it or even visualize it, energetically it's as though you could feel light filling you a little bit more fully. Inner body bright. And as you exhale, you kind of feel the outer body softening onto that great light. That astonishing light of your own being. Bring your hands together, fold them in front of your heart. Intentions are what guide our life. So we take time every time we step onto the mat to be more focused with our awareness and our attention. So setting an intention, maybe it's opening to that great light or feeling more presently the light, that which is within you. And then let your chin begin to bow down towards your chest. Release your hands down onto your legs. Inhale, lift your chin, open your eyes. Good. And I want you to just shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. You're not going to do a full shoulder roll. Just shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. And then exhale, release the shoulders out of the ears. Bringing them up towards the ears. Inhale. Your side body actually is getting a little bit longer, even though there's contraction in your neck. And then exhale. You can see I'm not just like dropping them. I'm actually like really feeling it from within with the muscles. I can feel them all kind of gripping around to let them come down. One more time. Inhale. Shoulders up towards your ears. Exhale. Release the shoulders down. Let's switch the cross of your leg. If you're sitting in a chair, you just stay put for a little bit longer. Switch the cross of your leg. Interlace your fingers, but do the opposite way that feels natural to you. And what that does is it just kind of keeps you a little more present because you feel it in such a different way. It feels kind of almost foreign. Press your palms forward. Good. And then I want you to just kind of move your arms a little bit side to side, just kind of working through the torso. You're trying to keep your sit bones down. This isn't a super, I'm not going all the way as far as I can. Just kind of lubricating the side body a little bit, helping to open up for some of those twists we'll do a little later. Good. And then come back to center. Hug the arm bones into the socket. Draw your front ribs in a little bit so your tailbone lengthens toward the mat. And inhale, stretch your arms up towards the sky. Push through your index finger knuckles. Yep. Can you keep pushing through the palms? and release a little bit of tension out of the neck and shoulders. Draw your belly button back again. Good. And then inhale, cactus your arms, open your chest, inhale. And now exhale, twist to your right. Now I'm not going to go near as far as I normally could if I use my hands on the ground, and that's okay. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, turn the torso. Inhale, center. Now what I want you to do is I want you to try to do a 4-count inhale and a 4-count exhale. So take an inhale, and now exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now twist left. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1 more time. Exhale, 4. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right. Now the shoulders feel a little bit warm. All right, roll the shoulders now a few times, full circles. You can go back first or forward first, doesn't matter. And then switch. Good. And then I'm going to take my blanket out from underneath my seat. We're going to set that off to the side if you're sitting on it. You're going to bring your right shin out in front of you, and your left leg is going to kind of come back into a half hero pose. Take your left hand right onto the top of the hip crease. My right hand's just out beside me, kind of behind and supporting. And you're just going to do this little rotation. So you're going to internally rotate the leg. So use your hand to help. And lift the right side of your chest. Inhale. And then exhale, kind of rock so you're sitting more back towards neutral. And I get that sit bone down. Okay? Inhale. Exhale. Good. Really supporting your thigh. Inhale. Opening up the lung on the right side. Inhale. You want that lung chi to be nice and strong. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now this time we're going to tip it forward. Inhale, stay here. And now exhale, take your left hand that was just on the thigh, now bring it to your right knee. Inhale, sitting up nice and tall. My left sit bone is up. Exhale. Easy, easy does it. Try not to overwork in the neck. Just keep your head in line with the rest of your spine. Because your abdomen is kind of quite stretched on this right side. You'll really notice it as you try to take a full inhale. Feel yourself wringing out as you exhale. Good. And then unwind. Come back to center. Just notice in your belly. It's more internal, right? Now lean right, extend your left leg. That was just in Virasana. Let's straighten that leg. You're going to take your right hand just where it was before, behind you. We're going to take a gate pose. You're going to spin the sole of your left foot to the floor, and we're going to lift up from the inner body. Inhale, lift up, stretch your left arm over your ear, coming onto your right shin. And then exhale, left hand down to the floor, inside the leg, and right arm's going to stretch up and over towards your toes. So reaching up as you inhale, gate variation, reach the arm overhead. Exhale. Left hand down, right arm over. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Arm stretches over. One more time. Inhale, lift. You'll move differently. Exhale, lower if you feel like the pose is really coming from within. Good. Now inhale, bring it all the way up. Exhale, cross your left shin in front of your right shin. Sit up nice and tall. Your feet are under your knees. Breathe in. And now exhale, forward fold. if you happen to have a tendency towards being anxious and having anxiety, forward bending can be very soothing, as well as also really working with the breath. If you ever have, if you have like a sandbag or anything a little bit heavy that you can lay either on your back with a sandbag on your tummy or on your belly, just having the belly by the earth, it can be really grounding if you suffer with anxiety, as well as just forward bending like what we're doing right now. As you start to breathe deeper, your body may begin to go a little bit deeper, but it's from that inner body bright. Feel as though the light of the heart center, you're starting to stretch the heart a little bit more forward. So the back will tend to round here. Try to send the heart more forward. Good, and then walk your hands slowly up. Coming up to seated. Very good. Now we're just going to switch sides. Your left shin's in front. Your right leg is going to sweep behind you. We're going to repeat all that on the second side, okay? Right hand is going to come right onto the crease of your hip, like right where you'd hinge, making a C shape right around it. So you're going to inhale, open the chest, twist to the left. And then exhale, bring it back. And you can still be doing that one-to-one breath. So it's an inhale, 3, 2, 1, and exhale, 3, 2, 1. And you're doing it 2 more times. 3, 2, 1, and exhale, 3, 2, 1. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Now this time when you tip into it, go into the tip one more time. Stay here. Right hand that's on the hip crease is going to move over towards your left knee. Get as tall as you can. You've got some contraction on this right side, this right waistline. Left waistline, though, is in extension. Right sit bone is up. Exhale, turning and twisting. Wait for your exhale to twist. So when you inhale, really feel the inner body getting brighter through your breath, through your inhale. And then as you exhale, there's a softening onto that energy that you created as you breathed in. Unwind, come back around. Keep leaning left. Stretch your right leg that was in Virasana. Stretch that out straight so you're in Janu Shirshasana now. Okay, point your toes up towards the sky. Sit up nice and tall. You can always have a blanket here if you need it, or a blanket to pat under your left knee. Left hand's going to come behind you again. Sole of your right foot's going to spin towards the floor, and inhale. Lift it up. And then exhale, right hand down inside the leg. Left arm stretches up and over. And then again, you can do one-to-one breathing. Inhale, 3, 2, 1, and exhale, 3, 2, 1. And you can go longer, like if your count is 5 or 6. You're just creating an even breath, Samavriti they call that. Even inhale, even exhale. One more time. Inhale, 3, and exhale. Bring your torso upright, breathe in. Right shin crosses in front of left shin. Again, you can sit on a blanket here if you need to. Flex your feet are right underneath your knees. Inhale, lift your torso. Spine is long. You're hinging instead of you're rounding from your mid-back. You're keeping the extension through the heart. So think of the heart instead of closing in, inner body bright, outer body. So bring the heart forward. Now you could take your block. You grab a block if you had it. You could rest your third eye on your block. We're here for about 1 minute. Now when we move, that even breath is a little more accessible to sustain because we can move and breathe at the same time. So when you hold the pose, it's going to really exercise the ability to train your mind to stay with the breath. You're building that internal resistance of sustaining focus and awareness in the present moment. To be with your body, to feel your body. It's much easier to think about what you have going on later in your day than it is to be present. So stay with being present, and the breath will help you. Good, and then walk your hands. Bring them slowly back up. Come up to an easy seat. All right, stretch your legs straight out in front of you. I'm going to grab my blanket again. So if your hamstrings are a little bit tighter, and you've got a towel or a blanket, put it underneath your sit bones just to give your hips a little bit of height to help your low back move in and up. Okay, flex your feet. Frame your hands right alongside your legs. Inhale, and then you're not trying to come all the way where hands are going to feet at this moment. So inhale tall, and then exhale, fold toward your legs. Now the key to breathing deeper is really take a deep inhale. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Let the breath go all the way. Also really focus on the exhale. So can you use your abdominal muscles to contract and really empty the breath all the way out? And then that will help you take a deeper in-breath. If you're getting pain right behind the knees, we don't want that there. So I want you to put a little bit of a bend in those knees. You can even roll a little towel or a blanket and set it underneath the knees. Inhale. As you fold, use your belly. Contract, contract, contract. When you think you've emptied, can you empty a little more? And then inhale. Do you feel that? Do it again. Exhale. More, a little more. And then inhale. Good. Okay, let's come up. All fours. Tabletop position. Tabletop position. Block off to the, or blanket, off to the side. Turn your hands just slightly out. Align your knees so they're just a hair behind the hips, okay? So you've got a little bit more length. Sometimes what I see in yoga, I say come to all fours, and the knees come so close, and it really shortens the side body, which inhibits your capacity to take a deeper breath. So we want the knees at least under the hips. If you take them back just a hair, you're going to feel your core, your inner body, have to wake up just a little bit more, okay? It's not going to be able to be on holiday or summer vacation, okay? All right, so drop the belly down towards the floor. Drop the belly so you've got an arch. And then take the belly, the inner body, to the right. Inner body to the right. Now arch up and feel the arch coming from the inner body. Take the inner body to the left, rib cage left. Notice I'm cueing inner body and then the outer body. And then internal, like let the belly drop down. You're doing it again to the right. Now if you close your eyes, you might really start to notice the movement coming more from within. And that even to create the movement, it comes from a thought first. Your thought
tells your body, now go switch the direction, go left, arch, right, and down. We have the thought, then the body moves. It always starts from the inside out. When you get back to belly dropping down, stay there. Stay there. So let the belly drop. Let the upper arm, the heart melt between the upper arms. Gaze is either down or just no higher than kind of towards the horizon. And then I want you to do the opposite. Exhale, cat the back. Push into the hands. You can even lift the heels of your hands up off the mat. And then drop very slowly, heels of the hands back down. Keep pushing into your left hand. Reach your right arm up. And exhale, thread the right arm underneath. Oh, this is a good one, right? Very easy to feel it on the outer body. Oh, yes. But worry less about the outer body. Connect more into your breath. Bring your attention to kind of creating that visualization of light being at the heart center. And although we're crossing across the heart with that right arm, the left side, how can you move the head of that left shoulder back? Some of you are probably binding with that left arm, reaching for your right thigh, and that's just fine. If it bothers your neck, let your face almost feel like it's turning maybe a little more towards the floor. That may help. Some of you will eventually start to roll more towards the back of your head. And we're trying to stay with a few poses here and there a little longer than we typically would, to allow the inner body to really guide that outer body into a little bit more ease. Good. Now push into that left hand. Return your right arm, but sit back toward child's pose and walk both your arms over to the right and bow your forehead down. I'm going to take my left hand back a little ways. So I'm kind of supporting my body to twist so that the right rib cage, right arm start to melt a little bit more down towards the floor on the left side. And then begin to walk yourself back up. Now, if it's comfortable, sit on your shins. If it's not, you can just stand on the shins. But otherwise, just stay here and pause for a moment. Pausing, not the breath, but just your movement. Recognizing if there is any internal sensation happening. And let's repeat, second side. Bring your hands back out. Left hand's going to reach up towards the sky. Take a nice deep inhale. And then exhale, thread the arm underneath and through. Pop up maybe onto those right fingertips. Tip the right elbow up towards the sky so you can hug the right arm bone back into the socket more. You have an option, of course, to bind if you like to. Notice if you're really exhaling all the way. Can you actually feel your belly contract? When it's actually all the way empty, there may be a slight pause that you can actually Feel the body just naturally twist a little bit deeper. It's not forced. There's just an emptiness that allows the body to revolve a little deeper. Bring your hand back, your right one. Push into that hand. Slide your hips back towards your heels. And then both arms in child's pose are going to walk over now to the right. Again, I'm going to bring my right hand back. You don't have to. You can keep both arms stretching on the diagonal. I find I can just get a little more twist. I can lift the right side of the belly back a little more and sweep the left side of the belly more over that right leg. Good. And then slowly bring your torso back up. Bring your torso back right to center. Close your eyes. Really started to wake up the lungs, kind of lung meridians. Now we've been really focused on the breath, the breathing, to help build that internal resilience anxiety, to really help calm the mind, bring it down. And then come forward, inhale. Bring your right foot forward in between your hands. Good. And then heel toe the right foot off to the right. So if you need to pad your knee, grab that blanket. Tuck your back toes, maybe scooch the back knee back just a little bit. And then allow your body to move a little bit side to side. It might be helpful here to have a block. Have your hands under a block and just sway a little bit side to side. If your knee is going past your toes, lengthen your stance. Bring that front foot more forward. So if your foot's back like this and your knee is going past, ooh, that pulls. So bring it forward here. Yep. Now this is just a very simple twist. I want you to gaze forward towards the horizon. And then exhale. Turn and look over your right shoulder, but actually down towards the floor. Inhale, gaze straight forward towards the horizon. Exhale, look towards the earth. Inhale, 3, 2, 1, and exhale, 3, 2, 1 more. Inhale, 3, 2, 1, and exhale. 3, 2, 1. Good. Bring your gaze forward. 2, 1. And heel toe your right foot back over. Tuck your back toes. Lift your knee, and you're going to ground that back heel, kind of angling the toes just slightly. And we're going to take what I call a lunge jog. So your right knee is going to keep going to the right. And if it doesn't, you can keep your right hand on it like I'm doing right here. And then you're going to stretch both arms over to the left. Take another breath. I know this creates a little bit of fire in the internal body and those muscles on the right side. Take another breath. And reminding yourself, I can do hard things, right? Rock the hands back in, pivot the back heel up. And we're going to take our first down dog. So if down dog isn't happening today on our shoulders, puppy pose or half dog is always here for you. Otherwise, this is our first down dog. You might want to pedal out the feet a little bit. Make sure you keep some bend if necessary in those knees. So if my lumbar spine rounds and my shoulders tend to come forward, so I can have those straight legs, because that's what you do in down dog. But now we've lost the alignment. Our back is rounded. Bend your knees. Send your inner thighs back. Draw your navel in and then push the earth away so that the hands, the center of the wrist, elbow, armpit, rib cage, and hips are in one straight line. Drop down to the knees. Inhale. And left foot forward in between. And then heel toe it off to the left. Both hands inside that front leg. I'm going to grab my block again. Okay, you can grab yours as well. Lift your torso upright. And then when you exhale, you're looking over your shoulder to the left and down at the floor. Inhale. 3, 2, 1, and exhale. 3, 2, 1. Inhale. So this is really helpful because the mind, it's very hard for it to think about something else when it's being asked to be so present with breathing. Last time. 3, 2, 1, and exhale. 3. Good. Now bring it back to center. Inhale. We're going to take that down dog lunge. I'm going to turn myself around. Take that down dog lunge. So tuck your back toes. Lift your back knee. Spin the sole of the back foot to the floor. It's slightly angled in. And then, again, you can always put your left hand, if that knee is kind of coming to the right, just put your left hand on it. Just use one hand. You can even have a hand on the block if it's too much. And otherwise, down dog lunge. Both arms walk to the right side. Left knee moves left. Nice deep Ujjayi breath. One more. Full exhale, let it go. Hands walk back underneath you. Pivot that back heel up and step to plank into down dog. Exhale, hips to the sky. Let's come forward, top of a push-up, putting those knees down anytime you need to, and lower all the way to the belly. Forehead down to the floor. Fingernails are going to click down right next to you. Thumbs in towards you, pinkies out to the side, and our palms are facing up. Lift your shoulder heads up away from the floor, and then pick up your head. Keep the fingernails and the toenails down. Good. So different kind of breathing here, right? We're laying on the belly. We're asking the back body to work here. And bring it down. So we're going to start with an even breath. Here we go. So you're going to inhale up 4, and you're going to exhale down 4. Here we go. Coming up. 3, 2, 1, and exhale. 3, 2, 1. And again, inhale. 3, 2, 1, and exhale. One more. Bring your forearms out in front of you. Sphinx pose. Sphinx pose. Tops of your feet to the floor. Now let the belly stretch here. And if it feels good, push into one forearm. Let your rib cage move a little right. And then push into the other forearm and let your rib cage move a little left. So I'm pushing in my right, my rib cage moves left. Push into the left forearm, rib cage moves right. So although it's not a twist, it's working the side body, which also is activated in twisting. Lift your gaze now so you're looking again towards the horizon. You can always here take your feet, yogis, and just take the legs wider. If you ever have back pain, that's probably going to feel much more soothing in the back. Notice if your body's feeling anxious just because it wants to keep moving. We're trying to balance doing movement, and then a little bit of a hold. Movement, a little bit of a hold. Giving it the opportunity to practice. And that can be how our day is, right? When we're working, we work all day, a lot of us, and then we come home, and if it is lonely, right? There's loneliness.
We remind ourselves, we come to the mat, we do these practices, and that there is always an energy that's bigger than us, and that there are ways to connect, but it may take us reaching out and making those connections. And I am here for you if you ever need it. So bring your legs back in, push into the forearms, lift your hips up, walk your knees in a little bit. And a variation of puppy, we're going to bend your left forearm. It's called a quarter dog, and reach your right arm out. So your puppy pose, but we call it quarter dog because we're bending that forearm in. I'm just resting my forehead on my left forearm. And I really want you to notice the inner body here. So when you inhale, you can even lift your right arm pit, lift your rib cage up a little bit. And then when you exhale, feel the outer body softening onto that light. So inhale, kind of almost like there's an energetic pull lifting you upwards, inner body bright. Exhale, outer body softening onto that gray light. One more, do it again. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Now walk your right hand back. I like to bring it so it's between my forearm and my knee, so I've got support to push up. All right, and then I'm going to switch. Now right forearm down, left arm stretches long. There's just something so darn delightful about this pose. It just feels so, I don't know about all of you, but in my shoulder, it feels lovely. I hope you're feeling some love. So inner body bright. Inhale, puff up, and exhale, melt. And the eyes can close. Remembering puffing up as you inhale. I wish I could show you when you are lonely. Exhale or in darkness. The astonishing light of your own being. Exhale, melt. Good. Inhale. Bring that left hand back in so it's closer and you've got support. Push your way back up. Tuck your toes. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog, hips to the sky. And I'm going to give you the choice. You can walk your hands to your feet or your feet to your hands. Okay, you choose. But come into a forward fold one way or another. Keep the hands on the ground and melt in. Melt in a little deeper. Relax your head and neck. Shake it out. Now put a generous bend in your knees. Bring your hands onto your hips. Lift your shoulder heads up to the sky. Your gaze is to the floor. Your neck is long. And inhale, rise, come up. Exhale, release your arms by your sides. Good, let's come. You're at the top of your mat. I'm going to just face you, but you can just stay at the top of your mat. We're going to take a tree pose. I haven't done a tree pose in a long while. All right, so you're going to start standing on your right foot, and we're going to turn our left foot out. Okay, turn your left foot out. We might make this a little spicy. So if you need a wall, if you know balance tends to be off for you, come near a wall. Maybe bring the left foot up towards the calf. We want to avoid the knee. You never want to push on your knee. No bueno. No bueno. Some of you will bring the leg up. Now the key here is when the foot comes up, then the hip tends to push out. So just make it a purposeful move. Okay, firm your outer right hip in. Ooh, do you feel the thigh, the inner thigh light up? Move the left knee to go left. You are not alone, friends. Hands to heart. I know we are not together in a space where we can see each other's faces, and it does make a difference. But we are still here together. Hands to heart space. And then if you want, I'm going to keep adding on, and you just, I call them bus stops. So you get off at the stop that feels good for you. You don't have to go any further. If this feels good, stay here. Cactus your arms. Inhale. Cactus your arms. Inhale. Yes. Now twist just a little to the right. Oh, knee stays left. Back to center. Twist to the right. One more time. Breathe in. Twist. I'm wobbling here too. Balance doesn't mean steady. All right, back to center. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Left leg down, arms by your sides. Yes. Second side, we're going to stand on our left leg. We do what we can do, right? I think it's the mind, turn the right leg out. It's the mind that can be our best friend or our worst enemy, right? That maybe bringing the leg up. Some days we're totally okay with where we're at in our mat, and other days we get so hard on ourselves. And I don't just mean on the mat of our yoga mat, the mat of our life, right? The space we are in our life, right? Some days, depending on our state, the state of our mind and how we feel, hands to heart, that's the lens then that everything in the world around us, the way that we bring it in. We create our universe. Open your arms into cactus. Now, the knee, if we're tighter here, will be a little more forward. What you're working on is that will tend to have the inner edge of your foot pushing down. Think about the outer edge. Did you see my leg just did that? So here's where I'm thinking about the inner foot. Push into actually the outer edge of the foot. And then firm the outer left hip in. Now I just grew a little taller. My arms are in cactus. It's okay if your knee isn't open as far. Exhale. Twist left. This isn't going to be a big movement. A lot of things having to work together here to make this happen. Remember, your foot can still be on the floor. Yeah? Exhale. The only person that'll get hard on ourselves about that is ourselves. So, self-love. Yogi is self-love. You fall out, you come back in. You come back in. Exhale, twist. We will fall. We will, some people think fail, I think figure things out. Bring hands back to the heart, breathe in. We succeed or we learn, friends. Exhale, releasing down. Arms by your side, Tadasana, mountain pose. Now feel both feet on the ground. Reach the arms up to the sky, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. Hinge from that hip crease, back as long, knees can be bent. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, let's step left foot back into a lunge and place our back knee down to the ground. Good. Inhale, walk your hands up your front thigh. Walk your hands up your front thigh. Now, instead of going into your deepest lunge, what can you feel right here where you've got more 290-degree angles? Drop your tailbone down, lift your pubic bone up. You're going to get to go deeper, but just be patient. Now, exhale. Sink in just a little more. The stretch starts to change on the outer body. So from here to even here. Now we're going to take it into a twist. Left hand down. It's always helpful for knees to give a little padding. Some of you, you're going to feel plenty in your thigh just having the hands come down to the ground. Okay, so don't feel like you have to go any deeper. But if you like, right hand, even reaching it back will bring more stretch, or even taking it to your right hip is going to bring more stretch. And those of you that want to grab for the foot, you can grab for the foot. So this has been a lot of hips, twists, and some shoulders today. Take another breath. We've done a fair amount. Exhale, release the foot of forward bending. Now, I'm going to take my blanket out. I'm going to push into the hands and scooch that back leg up. And then we're going to come to a seated twist. Okay? Now, if your bottom knee bothers you, just extend that leg long. Otherwise, sole of your right foot to the floor. Right hand is going to come behind you. Inhale, lift up nice and tall. And I'm starting by just holding my left hand against my right knee. And then exhale, twist. So you could work the elbow. listen careful. We're gonna shift our breath a little bit. Those of you that want to go deeper and bring the arm to the outside, you can. I am enjoying the hip opening aspect with the hook, so go ahead. But you're gonna inhale, 3, 2, 1, and now you're gonna exhale, 3, 2, 1. Now we're gonna keep the inhale the same on the count of 4, 2, 1. Now I want you to exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now inhale 4 again. Now exhale 6. Two more. Inhale 4. Feel your belly against your thigh, and now exhale 7. If it's too much, stay at 6. Stay at 6. You got one more. Inhale. We're exhaling 8. Come back around. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now, right knee on top of left knee. Gomukhasana. Gomukhasana. So you might need a blanket if the knees have some space. You might need your block to sit on, or your blanket to sit on, and then I can take my block and bring it under my third eye if I have room to fold forward. So you might need some props here. Just get what you need. If there's room to fold forward, go ahead and bring your forehead on down. And I want you to see if you can do a 1 to 2 breath, what we just ended on. So you're inhaling for 4, and try and exhale for 6 or 8. Okay, so inhale, and then exhale for a count of 6 or a count of 8. If your hips are tight, you may stay upright. This is just fine. One more breath. Bring your body back upright. Inhale. Good. And take the legs, just kind of bringing them back to crisscross. Scoot your props out from underneath you. Coming back to tabletop. Coming back to tabletop. And we got to switch sides. So left foot forward, both hands walk up that front leg. Remember, back off to start. And then maybe going a little bit deeper. So as you go deeper, squeeze your front foot, your back knee together, your inner thighs together. Keep the sternum lifting up, tailbone moving down. And then right hand, if you like, can come down to the floor, and you can just reach the left arm back, or even on the hip. Or if you want to, you're going to grab the foot. Now I'm actually not on the kneecap. So when they start to bend, it kind of rolls over the kneecap. But once I get the foot, if you can get it, I'm actually in front of it. I'm right on the base of the thigh. So it's not on the kneecap. But that does take some just flexion that has to be able to happen. So be patient with your body if it's not there yet today. And then let go of the foot. Coming to seated twist. I'm just going to scooch the left foot and over to the midline and draw that back leg up a little bit. Left leg crosses over. Remember, bottom leg can be straight here. Left sit bone, get it all the way down. Sole of your left foot all the way to the ground. Left hand behind you. Inhale, reach right arm up. I'm going to hook around. Those of you that want to go to the outside, you can. Inhale tall. Back to 1-to-1 breath. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. I'm only going as far as the breath takes me. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. And now you're exhaling 5. Inhale. You're exhaling 6. Inhale. If this is too much, if it's agitating your mind, if it's making you feel frustrated or can't quite catch your breath, just breathe normal, okay? Breathe normal. Breath work takes time. You're going for 7. Last one, inhale. Remember, you can stay at 6. You're going for 8. Back around, breathe in. Gomukhasana. You may have to come forward here to kind of come onto the knees, open up the feet, and then sit back in between the feet. Remember, you can grab your blanket, grab any props you need. Inhale nice and tall. Now you just stay here, exhale. Now we're trying to go for that 1-to-2 breath. So the inhale is 4 and the exhale is 8. And if that's too much, just do 6. And if it's all that's not working, you just breathe. That's all you need to do, just breathe. Some of what can cause our loneliness is really a sense of grief. And grief can be because we've lost someone. It can be because we've lost a way of how things were, which we all can relate to. And I was reading an Untamed. If you still haven't gotten this book, I highly recommend it. And she talked about grief is like a cocoon from which we emerge anew. And that it's almost like as we go through grief or we go through loneliness, it is as though we are shedding, like a snake, a layer of ourselves. And then we look back and it's like we want things to be. It's like we're trying to put the old skin back on and it can't be. So she also mentions that grief can be a very lonely place because there really isn't anything that anybody can do for us in that moment. It's just us being and remembering that quote by Hafez that I wish I could show you when you are lonely or in darkness, the astonishing light of your own being. Let's come back up. I may have had you on that side a little longer. Left sides can be tighter anyway, so they probably need a little more love. Let's stretch those legs out. Give them a little shake. I want you to take your blanket if you have one. I want you to roll it just a hair and slide it under your belly. I'm going to bend my knees. So I'm trying to get the blanket to hit under my rib cage, and we're just going to fold over. If I go too close, the mic's going to hit. It's going to get scratchy. But those of you that can, you can just lay on in all the way. Just lay yourself right over. If you had a second blanket, you could put it on your knees, or if you had a bolster. Gives a really gentle massage to our organs. And then inhale, yogis come up. I want you to keep rolling that blanket, and now actually set it, if you had one, under your knees. And come all the way down onto your back. Turn your palms up. And just, you're still maybe noticing your breath, so go ahead, let yourself kind of be a little bit more conscious with your breathing. body bright. Notice this light of the breath in your heart space. So we'll be here for a few minutes, and when it's time to come out, as always, you'll hear me ring for you a soft bell. If you're trying to still control your breath, do your best to let that go. Allow your breath to deepen. To notice the expansion of your inhale and the contraction of your exhale. Rolling over to your side, your right side. If you're doing this in the evening, go ahead and lay left. Use your bottom arm as a pillow. I'm going to read you a little piece from Glennon. She's talking about grief. She said the only thing that can make grief any easier is to surrender completely to it. To resist trying to hold on to a single part of ourselves that existed before the doorbell rang. Whatever that means for each of us. Sometimes to live again, we have to let ourselves die completely. We have to let ourselves become completely, utterly new. So begin, and this is what this pose is. You're laying on your side. You were in Shavasana, which was corpse pose, to die again. And it is though every time we are reawakening and we are coming back up. So as you come back up to an easy seat, bring your palms together in front of your heart. Oh, yogis, I wish I could show each of us, and myself included, do my best when we are lonely or in darkness, the astonishing light of our own being. You are not alone. I am here for you, and there are so many resources, and if you need help, please never feel shy. Just do it, right? Just do it. Pick up the phone, send the message, create the connection, and remember these practices, this time on your mat to build your internal strength, your internal resilience, and this commitment to your practice. It will always be here for you, waiting for you, without judgment, love. Bringing thumbs up to third eye. Thank you for stepping on your mat today. Thank you for being a part of this practice, for sharing your love and your energy across miles, beyond space and time with each other. It was my honor to be with you. Namaste. Thank you, friends. Thank you so much for being here. It was my honor to guide you and to be with you. And I'm working on, with some other friends, cooking up some really good things coming for August. Just a whole healthy living experience, mind, body, food, all of those things. If you're interested in that, let me know or send me a message. You can comment below, and I'll get you some information, okay? Thank you. Thank you for being here. If you have questions, let me know. If you need me or a resource, let me know, and I will help connect you. So thank you, friends. Have an amazing day and an awesome week.